Okay, so this video is going to look at how we can solve an inequation. And really, it doesn't matter what this symbol is. A less than, a greater than, a less than equal to, or greater than equal to. I can pretty much treat it like an equals. When I go through the working, I'm not allowed to change it to an equals, but I'm going to treat it exactly the same. There's only one time that I have to worry about the fact that it's an inequation, okay, and that's if I end up multiplying or dividing by a negative number. So if I end up multiplying and dividing by a negative number, I end up having to swap the sign, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So I've got this equation, and I'm going to do it in two halves because there are two ways I could solve this equation. And I've got 5 minus 3x is less than 10. Okay, so I've written it on both sides. On this side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the 3x over the equals, and that means I'm going to have to move the 10 back. Now remember, when we talked about this in solving equations, as I move something over the equals, the sign changes. So the 5 hasn't moved, so that stays there. The 10 was a plus 10, so when I move it over, it becomes a minus 10. The symbol hasn't changed direction, and if I had a minus 3x and I moved it over, it becomes a plus 3x. So I'm left with minus 5 is less than 3x, so I can divide by the 3 by moving that over, and I get minus 5 divided by 3. That is my solution, and x is greater than those. If I look at this one, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing to solve it, I'm going to move the 5, so I've got minus 3x is less than 10 minus 5, because that was a plus 5, so it becomes a minus 5. So I get minus 3x is less than 5. Now I'm coming to move a negative number, and if I move a negative number, because I'm dividing or multiplying, this symbol has to swap direction. So it's that. Now, these two expressions then at the bottom here are exactly the same, and if they weren't, there would be a problem with my method. Okay, so solving equations, the only thing you've got to remember is you treat it exactly like an equals unless you divide by a negative number, and then you have to swap the sign.